Hello everyone, now I will present about the difference between translation and interpreting. Previously, my name was Anak Agung Bagus Wahana Sakti. My pseudo number is 18015411074 and this presentation was supported by Miss Sang Ayu Isnu Maharani. Interpreting and translation are two closely related linguistic disciplines, yet they are rarely performed by the same people. The difference in skill, training, aptitude, and the even language knowledge are so substantial that few people can do both successfully on a professional level. Both translation and interpretation enable communication across language from source language to the target language. Translation decipher meaning of the written word from one language to another. Then interpretation convey meaning of the spoken word from one language to another. Interpreting is the transfer of one spoken or sign language to another. Interpreting is the facilitation of spoken or sign language communication between users of the different languages. The formal International Standard Organization definition for interpreting is as follows: rendering a spoken or sign message into another spoken or sign language, preserving the register and meaning of the source language content. Translation is communication of meaning from one language to another language. Translation refers to written information, whereas interpretation refers to spoken information. The purpose of translation is to convey the original tone and intent of a message, taking into account cultural and regional difference between source and target language. Translation has been used by humans for centuries, beginning after the appearance of written literature. Modern day, translators use sophisticated tools and technologies to accomplish their work and rely heavily on software applications to simplify and streamline their tasks. 6 key differences about interpretation and translation. First, interpreter focus on oral content. Interpretation, an oral rendering of a foreign speech meaning. Then, translation, a written rendering of foreign text meaning. Second, translation are not immediate. Translators use their knowledge and research to understand the target country cultural and linguistic nuances, so they can write better translation naturally. This process takes a significantly more time than an interpreter's rendering, which occurs on the spot. Third, interpreter must have to be fluent in their second language. Translators typically only translate into their native tongue and are not required to tap into a great wealth of vocabulary for an instant translation. Though they are not always conversationally fluent, translators can often write better than native speakers. Interpreters must have conversationally fluency. 4. Interpreter is not demand the accuracy. Interpreters translate phrases and idioms between two languages instantly, which leave a lot of room in accuracies. Conversely, translators have more time to analyze text and research the best transference of meaning. As a result, translation tend to be much more accurate than interpretation. 5. Interpreting used for live event. If you are even seen an international hearing, you may have noticed politicians wearing earpieces and professionals speaking rapidly. These people are interpreters, not translators. You will frequently find interpreters in conferences, business meetings, courtroom, and police station. In this situation, interpreters are essential to successful communication in the moment. 6. Translator use cultural knowledge base. While translator may use a dictionary to find appropriate terminology during the translation process, to write a quality translation that does the original work justice while catering to a target region, professional must have a deep understanding of common cultural practices in the area. An interpreter is probably close to memorizing the dictionary. This quick knowledge of diction helps interpreters translate much more quickly. What interpreters do, what translators do. What do interpreters do? The interpreter's job is to listen to what is being said in the source language and convert the meaning of the message to the target language. Although it sounds to do this quickly and on the spot, professional interpreters have a deep understanding of both the target and source language in question and employ two key techniques. What do translators do? A translator's job is to translate text for the source language to the target language. Provide a translation that has a little equivocation as possible so that is really understood by the reader. Interpreter do more than translator. Translator work with written words. Then an interpreter work with spoken words. So a translator writes and an interpreter speaks. Which is better? As a translator, you may work for translation project, like if anyone want to do business internationally and want to translate their business document, so you need help of translation. And if you need a person who interprets, especially one who translates speech orally or into sign language, in this situation, interpreter help you. If you want to learn language or understand it, so you need an interpreter. And if you want to translate your document or anything related to business language, you want to a translator. The conclusion: both are better in their own profession. So, these are references and sources for my presentation. Thank you, and I hope I get the big score for this presentation. Thank you very much.